We decided to help my struggling brother-in-law, but now I just feel used.
Well, he better get used to not being in your life.
I have been married to my wonderful wife for over 5 years, but we have been together for 10. About a year ago, my company let me know they were transferring me. My wife and I were super happy about this. We moved at the beginning of 2015, about 1,000 miles away from where we used to live. By the way, this comes from a deleted user. And if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my brother-in-law used to hang out with us a lot when we lived in our old house and has always been helpful to us. He was unhappy with his life due to a major breakup and a job he did not want to be in forever. When we were getting ready to move, we let him know that if we had the space when we bought a house, he was welcome to move and live with us. We bought a house that just so happens to be situated into 2 different apartments. So when we moved, we let him know that he was welcome to come live with us. He came to visit us in March. Loved it where we were living, and made plans to move at the end of April. When we moved in, I let him know that while he is getting on his feet or finding a job, he wouldn't need to pay us rent and that we would make sure that he was fed as well. Within about a month, he found a job, not doing what he wanted, but in a field that he has a lot of experience in. We were happy the transition was pretty easy for him. The pay wasn't great, but it was better than what my wife was making. Anyhow, we didn't discuss rent or anything since he got the job. Red flag.
Probably should have done that.
Yeah, do that immediately.
Yeah.
High priority.
Right away.
About a month ago, I was going to talk with him about rent, but he got irrationally mad about me sending him an email asking him to move all of his stuff out of the bathroom so I could repair an issue with the ceiling. Then he got pretty mad about me asking him to borrow his truck in the wrong way. Not a problem. We worked through the issues, but he happened to get irrationally mad about these things on the day I was going to talk with him about rent. One of his complaints was that I shouldn't approach him by email. I decided to put the rent conversation on hold until we got past this tension. Over the past month, he has become more and more abrasive towards me. Not all the time, but there is a tension. He doesn't clean anything. Sorry for the awkward placement, but honestly, he cleans nothing. Also, he smokes and almost caused a fire because he doesn't empty his ashtray, which is on a shelf outside next to the house, which caught fire. So he's not cleaning, is putting the house at risk,
fires.
And is getting abrasive with you, and he's paid $0.
Get him out of there.
And you
Say,
put him there.
hey, you know what? You're being kind of a problem. And you haven't been paying us any money, so you gotta go.
I'd agree. To put a cherry on top of all of this, we were planning to go out of town this weekend and asked him several times if he would watch our dogs and cats while we were gone, which he agreed to do. My wife brought it up this morning with him, and he essentially said that he was not able to watch them this weekend. Anyhow, there are a multitude of issues that are starting to pop up, and we just don't know how to best address these issues. I'm the type of person that prefers to deal with conflict like this with an email, as I feel I am better able to relay how I feel and cover all issues. Bro, just say you work in a corporate office. As I said before, he is completely against this method of communication. Today, I typed up an email that addresses the rent situation, the cleaning issue, and the issue with his smoking. It's a long email where I apologize several times for the method of communication, but address each issue with what I think are fair solutions. Please keep in mind, I have paid for his food and rent for the past 5 months, even though he's been employed for 4 months. How should I approach this? Should I just use the email as a template to speak with him? Should I just send the email? Am I overreacting about these issues? As of now, I feel a bit taken advantage of and feel pretty upset that this person I have done a lot for is acting like such a... This all said, we would like having him around and would not mind him living with us for the foreseeable future if these issues were addressed. And there's an edit. I have an ICU/conspiracy theory right now. I think that the brother-in-law is trying to push people away. I'm sure
because he's in like a really hard place.
I feel like it's about to be like a self-fulfilling prophecy where like he needs to get on his feet and now he's got a job, but there's something going on where like his go-to is like, everyone hates me, nobody supports me, like nobody values me.
Well, yeah, I think also there's like, I had a friend who like was helping out another friend, but like letting him live, and he was just causing so many problems. And I think sometimes it's like this kind of pride thing of like, oh, I don't need to rely on them, so I can crap talk them.
Right.
I can not help out.
But it's like, where would you be living for free for the
Exactly.
last 5 months if it wasn't for these people? So I hope that's not the case, because that's a really hard behavior pattern to get out of. There's an edit. Thank you all for your input and opinions. Honestly, no one had bad suggestions, but some were a bit more relevant to my situation. I really appreciate all the help and thoughtful suggestions. My wife and I are going to go away for the weekend, and we'll talk with him Sunday or Monday. I'll do an update to let you all know how it went. Thank you again. Here's the update. Let's get into it. My wife and I went away for the weekend. Had a great time, even though the dogs were a bit of a hassle. Oh, so they brought the dogs with them.
Yeah, because we wouldn't watch them.
That's fun.
What happened with the cat, though?
Dogs on the trip. That's fun.
Oh, no,
Cat takes care of itself.
It's fine. Cat fine.
Cat takes care of itself. Pretty much. Before we even left, brother-in-law told me out of the blue that he feels bad, like he's not really been carrying his weight. He said he would clean the kitchen while we were gone, which I guess is a step in the right direction before I start judging. When we came back, the kitchen was still undone. All right, I'm judging. That's not enough.
He's like, I thought about it.
I told you I'd do it. Isn't that something?
Isn't that help? Isn't that good of me?
The next day, Monday, he actually did clean the kitchen, which is great. It smells way better now. We did not get a chance to talk with him Monday. Our schedules did not jive. On Tuesday, he mowed the lawn and shaped some bushes in our front yard. Again, we did not get a chance to talk with him, but it was really nice to see he was starting to pull his weight. Last night, I made a pot roast and invited him to eat with us. We sat down and ate the meal, and at the end, I brought up that significant other and I had been talking about him paying us some rent. He immediately agreed, said he was thinking he should as well, but had not brought it up yet. We talked about how much he should pay. He agreed with our figure and said it's so cheap anyhow. He can definitely do that. We talked about his plans and how long he thinks he's going to stay with us. He said that next year, one of his friends might be looking for a roommate, and he just went through a divorce, so he's considering moving in with him. Now, the less than perfect thing, but still acceptable to us. He brought up that his job is currently seasonal, but being where we are, the season is around 9 or 10 months. He asked that if he's unable to find a job for the 2 to 3 months that he's off work, could we skip the rent payment? My significant other and I talked about it and figured this was fine since we had set standard that if he's earning money, he owes us rent, which we all agreed to. Man, if only. Can you imagine if that was how it was all over?
Yeah, just like I'm not here, so I don't have to pay.
Yeah,
rent.
Sorry, Barnabas, I don't have the rent. You can't throw me in the lion pit because I don't have a job. I'm not making any money.
Yeah. Dang it. I mean, he's already not been paying for the rent. I think if I were in that situation, I'd be like, if I had the money, I would want to pay as much as possible.
Dude, you just told us it's so cheap.
Yeah.
He also asked if he could start paying us in November as he needs to get a computer and some books for school. My significant other and I had always been big advocates of him going back to school as he has been unhappy with the types of jobs he can get without a degree. We were totally fine with this as we support the decision for him to go back to school. One of the main reasons I have been so willing to help him has always been that I wanted to try to get him a leg up now when his life is cheap so he could find security and eventually would be able to stand on his own 2 legs without our support. I think going back to school puts him on this path, which we are happy about. We have not talked about the cigarettes with him as of yet, as we wanted to trickle out with major issues to talk with him. And by the way, you can majorly listen to full episodes with stories just like this on iHeartRadio or Apple Podcasts or Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search OK Storytime, the name of this show, and then you can find the entire archive. And you could spend the rest of your life listening to it because we add new stuff to it every day. Although there are people out there who will catch up in a matter of months.
And that's the truth. My final thought on this story is it seems like OP and her partner are like very, very big advocates of this guy, which is really, he's just so lucky to have that, even though he's
good support
continuously
system.
Like making a lot of mistakes, but like really good support system. So he just has to be aware that he's really lucky.
I feel like it's not, you can help him. You can give him a fair price on rent. You can help him go back to school. But I think by allowing someone who's 31, like dictate their own terms like that, like it's, because that's not real.
Yeah.
Like you don't get to go to your landlord or whoever you're renting from and be like, hey, so here's the deal. I'm only going to have money 9 months out of the year. So I'm not going to be able to pay rent. And also I'm not going to start paying until this time, even though I've been working for 5 months. It's like, you need to take the kid gloves off because he's 31. It's he's going back to school.
That was my only kind of thing of he's making a lot of stipulations and stuff.
Yeah. So
but there is a little bit more to this story.
Let's finish it off. So, looks like things are working out. I will update in November if he does not pay us or if something else happens. But as of now, it looks like we're on pretty firm ground. And edit, the 2 or 3 months of rent leniency was not him asking not to pay at all. And I regret that I did not describe this better. What he was saying is that there's a possibility that he might not have enough money. And if he did not, then we would be willing to cut him a break on rent. He'll pay what he can when his work is less, and we won't keep a running tab of what he owes us. Just forgive it.
Okay, but when his work is less, I feel like he should find another job, no?
Exactly. I mean,
can't just
you
be
guys
like,
are being
"Well, my
sweet
job
little
doesn't
angel
work."
babies.
I don't have a job during this time, so I can't do anything about that.
Gotta get a job, brother.
Yeah.
Gotta get a job then. I don't know.
But that is the end of that story.